Today we're talking with Joy Malumphy, author of When Irish Smiles Are Lying, which is due out this summer. Thanks for joining us, Joy.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Well, tell us a little about the book.
Well, my main character is Bridie Daniel, and she lives in a Catholic orphanage in Dublin, Ireland, until she's about 18 months old. And at that time in Ireland, the laws prohibited adoptions outside the country. So Bridie faced a bleak future in the Irish Catholic orphanages until a compassionate Irish Monsignor from Texas discovered her. And believing that he had the perfect home for her, he instrumentally paved the way for the change in Irish law that opened the door to her adoption to this interesting Texas family. The gesture that he extended based on this sincere act of kindness ultimately sent this innocent child, Bridie Daniel, into a dysfunctional nightmare. Based on a true story, this book is about Bridie's journey through life of lies to the freedom of her own truth, from sadness to absolute joy.
Great. Sounds like a wonderful story.
Yes.
Where did you find the inspiration for this story?
Well, in my own life, the story is about me. It's a creative memoir, and it's creative from the standpoint of, as a child, I was a very imaginative and prolific storyteller.
Okay.
And so much so that my mother was very threatened by my just propensity to tell stories and the gift that I had. So as a result, I shut that down. I shut all those talents down because it just didn't bode very well for me growing up as a child. And interestingly enough, it caused me to go more to left brain activities than right brain. So
Okay.
I literally shut down my right brain as a child.
And that's never a good thing for a child, we all hope.
No, it isn't. But growing up, I didn't know what was normal. I lived in a society where the systems were children were to be seen and not heard. Okay, and I had to live that, and so I was always trying to find out where that perfect fit was, and it was a struggle. Actually,
Sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you start writing this book?
I started writing in 1999. I had the desire, thanks to my brother, who basically told me, you need to write your story, and I went, well, you know how we kind of hear something and we think, oh, yeah, maybe later.
Every day.
And it was at that time that I did believe that everyone does have a story in them, and I became passionate about stories of everyone's life. So I thought, as far as in my own career, I was in insurance, an executive officer, high-powered sales career, but I wasn't happy, because that was not my story. My story was that I was a very creative individual. Mm-hmm. So in order to make that huge shift, I had to leave corporate America and literally immerse myself in the writing communities. So, and I started by going to Maui Writers Group out in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
And they allowed me to search and find my voice, which is what, writing is all about, finding your true voice.
Absolutely.
So it took me 5 years of cathartic therapy to write this book that I really do feel now I'm very pleased with what it offers.
Now, when you started that writing process and discovering your voice, did you find that it was difficult, or did it come out right away?
It was very difficult for me because, as I said, I shut down so much of that. I didn't feel that I could. I didn't feel I had it in me. It was so foreign to me, even though there was just a little flicker of hope that, yes, come on, keep searching, hang in there, because
Right.
I found it very difficult to sit still and write. Mm-hmm. But my brain was going on, I get visions and the video goes, and I had that all the time. I just couldn't put it on paper.
But I suppose eventually you found that sweet spot where you could work.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Actually, I was living in Chicago when I first entertained the thought of writing this book. And in 2003, I left Chicago and moved here to Arizona.
Oh.
And that was a huge inspiration for me, believe it or not, because I do believe writers do need to be in a place that they feel comfortable to write.
Absolutely.
Scenery, sometimes it's setting, sometimes it's atmosphere, it just depends. But it did make a big impact in my life.
Oh, I would absolutely agree with that, and I think that everyone from Zane Grey to Ernest Hemingway would agree that.
Right.
That.
Of course, I always envisioned this nice little cottage somewhere far away, not in a metropolitan city.
But it's the process that counts, right?
Yeah, the process and being dedicated to the process. And, I think so often, especially in writing, we are the worst critic on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get through that and say, okay, that doesn't really matter.
Right.
Just stay with the process. You will achieve it. You will have a great reward at the end because you've completed it. And I'm a very tenacious individual anyway, so
Right.
this was an interesting challenge for me. And to go from left brain to right brain was like, okay.
Well, it sounds like you did have a very successful professional career, and has anything translated from that life? I know it's left brain, right brain, but has anything been beneficial from that life in your writing career?
Well, the good thing about most creative artists don't have that business marketing background when they go into promoting their stuff.
Sure.
I have that. So
You're prepackaged.
So I have that wealth of knowledge that I did have to learn. If I didn't have that discipline, that process of knowing how to go from plan A to plan B to plan C, I wouldn't know how to do this.
Right.
So yes, it has complemented me wonderfully because I see many writers and authors struggle with, okay, I've written the book, now what? And I'm going, that's not my problem. My problem was, just embracing the process and allowing the story to come out.
Well, it sounds like you've definitely got 2 feet under you, and you're well on your way. So where can people go to learn more about the book, maybe pre-order, pick it up this summer?
They can go to www.whenirishsmilesarelying.com.
Okay. And there you can pick up some info, more info about Joy, hit some links, find out more about the book.
Right.
Yeah.
It also will dovetail into my own site, thejoydoctor.com, which I am a lifestyle coach.
Oh, great.
Spiritual advisor and all that wonderful stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the book, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.